the beginning of the story, we see that all the students are very worried about the exam, and then they all look at a girl and say among themselves that she missed school for a few days. Look, she is getting special treatment now. She did not even wear school uniform. She is a burden on the world. After which suddenly a strange creature spawns there, seeing which the girl gets scared and starts asking for help from God. Then, a person outside tosses a coin and says that your wish has been heard. But then his partner says to him, "Don't you think this phantom is too big?" Then the Yato replies, "Hey, this is the time of exams. The students will be very worried, but with you, it is a cakewalk for me." After which Yato jumps from there and calls out the name Hunky, due to which the name written on your hand starts shining and it gets covered with a kind of energy and turns into a weapon. Then, Yato starts attacking that phantom continuously, and while talking to the air, holding his regalia that is weapon, says that you who tried to sanctify the land of this rising sun, now I Yatogami reverts her to her original form. And smelling herself says you, and your dirty sweaty hands, hearing which, to gets a shock in his heart. And he says, "Show some manners. I am your master." So you become a little serious and says, "We have to talk about this. I cannot be your concubine anymore." On which even Yatogami is not there. Then she starts crying and getting upset with her drama, to releases her. But after releasing her, Moni leaves from there, making fun of Otto. Then we are shown another scene in which Yatogami says, "First of all, I have to find a new regal for myself, even though I am a god. But without regal, even I am not safe." Then Otto gets a call from someone, and he receives the call, and says, "Thank you for calling fast and affordable delivery. God too is at your service. What did you say my lady is missing?" After which the scene changes in which some girls start talking about a missing cat named Mill. And while talking, their topic shifts to gods. Then Uri tells both her friends that I have downloaded my god. See this? After which we see a fight on Yuri's mobile, in which a wrestler named Dono defeats his opponent with a special move, seeing which Yuri gets very excited, but then her friend Akira tells her that we should not have asked you. Then Amy says, "I did not know that you are a martial arts fan," but then there too starts looking for that cat named Mill. Then Ray's friend asks her, "Is there anyone other than that fighter whom you like, that is, someone of our judge?" Then Hiyori thinks a bit and says, "No, I don't think so." But then her eyes meet Toe, and Yato is surprised to see her. But later it is known that he was surprised not to see Hiyori but the cat behind her. After which he moves very fast towards Malo. But then suddenly she comes and pushes him, because there is a bus in front, and due to that accident, a crowd is gathered there. After which Yuri wakes up and finds Yatogami's dad in front of her. Hiyori's mom is worried about her, after which her dad starts checking her up and says that you're absolutely fine. Despite being hit by a truck, you have only got a few scratches. Then Hiyori's mom tells her dad that this is our hospital, so you should let Yuri stay here for some time. But then Yuri asks what happened to that other person, hearing which everyone gets confused. But Yuri says in her mind that I remember very well that I saw a boy there. Even I saw another person like myself. Then we are shown the scene of the same night in which Yuri wakes up from sleep after hearing the painful voices of some people. Despite closing her ears, she still hears those voices, after which at exactly 12 o'clock, Yato appears from nowhere and says that means you can hear the voices from faraway corners, but Yato immediately runs away from her. But later she realizes that the boy from that time is Yatogami. God to Hiyori replies, "What kind of a joke is this? I have never heard the name of this god in my entire life." Hearing this, Yato gets a shock in his heart, but then he controls himself and says, "Yes, even though I am a small and stray god right now, in the coming time I will become the biggest god of this world, and I will also have many devotees." Saying this, he starts laughing loudly. Due to laughing so loudly, he starts coughing, after which he becomes a little serious and says, "Tonight is going to be very stormy. I cannot stay here without any regalia." Then he asks Yuri her name while eating the fruits kept there and goes out of the window like a prince, after which Hiyori's eyes also start closing and she falls asleep. Then the scene changes in which Hiyori meets her friends in school, but while walking with them, she suddenly falls down and says, "These days I keep getting dizzy like this from time to time." Then in the classroom she starts thinking whether what happened that night was a dream or not. After which, we are shown another scene, in which while going home, Yuri sees the poster of the same missing cat, which brings back vague memories of the day of the accident in her mind, and to know the whole truth, she sets out in search of the same cat. She passes through many places, and on the way she also sees some other cats, but she says to herself, "What kind of smell is this?" On the other side, Yatogami is seen. But then suddenly her eyes fall on Mill, and Mill immediately starts running away and reaches a field where a big phantom is waiting for him, and without wasting a moment, that phantom attacks Yato. So immediately putting the Mylot inside his clothes, Yato starts fighting with that phantom unarmed, which does not have much effect, after which he calls out the name Hanky. But it is too late for him to realize that now he has no control, but in the end, Hiyori saves Odo, and not knowing whether out of fear or excitement, Uri starts fighting with that phantom. She leaves, but unfortunately that phantom catches her leg. However then, a glimpse of her favorite wrestler Nono comes in her mind, and Hiyori saves the phantom from his special move, seeing which even Yato's eyes are wide open. After which Yuri is very happy and says that it worked great, both of them gave me their strength. But then that phantom starts attacking again, and at the end, Yato takes Yuri in his arms and goes away from there. Then after getting rid of that phantom, Yato says in his mind that this girl saved me again. Then Ri says, "So Yato, we met again. I wanted to ask you a lot of things that night, but you ran away from there quickly. But now I want direct answers to my questions." Then Yato points towards her and says that your soul has left the body, and look there, your body is there. Then Hiyori asks, "What is happening? Am I dead?" Then Yato says, "No, just assume that your body is still sleeping." After which suddenly, Hiyori's soul enters her body again. Then we are shown another scene in which a child is very upset because his cat Mill is missing and his mother is trying to console him. Then his doorbell rings, and as soon as he goes out, he finds Mill in front of him. He tells his mother that my wish has been fulfilled. Thank God, Aoto. Then the scene changes in which Yuri starts hitting Aoto as soon as she regains consciousness because he is carrying her on his back. But then she notices that his tail has disappeared. That is why she turns into Yatogami, and you can call far sure the life after death. Hearing this, Hiyori gets surprised, and Yatogami is a kind of creature which is the incarnation of emotions. They create a lot of problems for people by occupying them. On which Hiyori says that means, I am also like that phantom a while ago. Then Yato replies, no, you are half human and half phantom. And remember one thing, it is your soul. The exit of Yatogami from the body is going to happen quite frequently now, so Hiyori says, how can I become a human again? But Yato also does not have any answer to this. So Hiyori gets very upset and says, how will this work? Make me like before. You call yourself a god, don't you? On hearing this, Yato shows his 5 fingers and says, give me money. Then Hiyori says, God, now you have started taking money too. That too, 5,000 or maybe 5,000. I don't have that much money. Yato replies, hey friend, I am a god. And everyone knows that a god is given a coin of 5 rupees. On hearing which, Yori gets a little confused at first, but then that 5 yen coin is about Yatogami. After which she makes fake ears with shampoo spray and becomes happy like a child. Then we are shown another scene in which Yori's teacher starts waking her up because she fell asleep in school and says if you are not feeling well, then you should go to the nurse's office. On hearing which, Hiyori gets very embarrassed and starts apologizing. Then the scene changes and she comes to the changing room to change clothes with the rest of the girls and says in her mind that I am feeling very sleepy. All this is happening with me since that incident. No one else can see what I can see, creatures which are beyond human eyes. But what is so special in me that I can see them? Then, hearing the voice of her friends, she notices that she has come out of her body again, after which Akira and Amy start carrying her body. On the other hand, Hiyori starts having fun by taking advantage of her spirit form. But then she sees phantoms at a distance, which reminds her of one thing said by To. Phantoms are present everywhere, hidden in the darkness, flying in the sky, even on the shoulders of people. They are of all kinds of shapes and sizes, but they are residents of far corners, absolutely lifeless. That's why the ones who can see them are small children, animals, and we who are present between the near and far corners. Then Tori's eyes go towards a strange fog, seeing which she says to herself, so is this what is called a storm, a dark fire that attracts phantoms? Yatogami takes over people, due to which people lose all hope and go out of control. But then Hiyori remembers Yatogami. Hearing this, Ato immediately appears at Hiyori's location and says, do you think a human can teleport like this? Then Hiyori says, I still doubt it. Which god wears a tracksuit and that strange cloth around his neck, to which Ato replies, don't judge a book by the cover. Did your mom and dad never teach you this? And as for this cloth, it is my special soft scarf. Then, some people start passing by and seeing Hiyori talking to herself. They start thinking that she is mad. After which Hiyori says, what is the difference between you and phantoms? I mean, most of the people cannot see you, and it is the same with phantoms. So you are more similar to Yatogami. Then Yori notices that she has come out of her body again, seeing which Otto starts making fun of her. But then he becomes serious and says that to tell you the truth, you're not safe at all in this spirit form. You are now a living phantom, which means they will definitely come after you, and when they come, they will corrupt you and capture your soul. Hearing which Hiyori says that one day, I will build a big shrine while doing Yatogami, and saying this Yato gets lost in his fantasies again. After which Yori brings him out of his world of thoughts and says, when will you finally fix me? Then Yato replies that I told you I will fix you. Right now, I do not have any regalia. That is why I cannot use my full power. Regalia works as a weapon for the gods, on which Hari says that is why you are of no use right now. Hearing which Yato gets a shock in his heart. After which Hari comes to know through Yato that regalia are actually spirits. Then, Oto gets a call from a customer, and he goes 921 from there. As soon as he leaves, Hiyori starts thinking that how can she get herself out of the trouble. After which she starts remembering her idol No, and gets motivated by it and takes a decision that she will help to in finding the regalia. Then she goes to each phantom and asks them to become To's regalia. But instead of regalia, she gets only disappointment. After that, she sees a storm somewhere far away. Seeing this, she says, I am sure I will definitely find some regalia there. Then she sets out in the same direction with a lot of hope. After that, the scene changes and we see Yatogami. Here's a tip from me. After that, Yato, while leaving from there, starts saying to himself, what man, I am the god of war and I spent my whole day repairing a bathroom. But then he gets happy after drinking the beer he got from that man. Lying in someone else's shrine, looking at the sky, he says, tonight is very stormy. Then he gets a call from Hiyori. On receiving the call, Hiyori says, sorry for disturbing me so late at night, but maybe I have found a regalia for you. Hearing this, Yato immediately teleports there, but instead of any regalia, he meets a dangerous phantom, after which they start running away from there and ask from which angle is that regalia looking like that to you. Anyone can tell at first glance that it is a phantom. Then Yuri says, but you yourself said don't judge a book by its cover. Hearing which Yatogami asks what. But then Hiyori notices that she has left her body again, after which that phantom starts attacking them, and both of them somehow start escaping from it. But then Yori remembers that she can do a lot in her spirit form, and thinking this, she gets ready to fight. But Yato pulls her tail and saves her from going into the mouth of that phantom. But in the meantime, his own hand gets stuck in the mouth of that phantom, so somehow he cuts a part of that phantom and gets out of its clutches and starts running from there with Yori. Then the scene changes in which Yori sees Yato's hand. She says that your hand is not feeling right, so if you don't do Yatogami, it will keep eating you from inside. By the way, that tail behind you is not a tail. It is a kind of lifeline which keeps your physical and spiritual forms connected. If it is cut, then it is like your life is also gone. But before the Yatogami ends, the phantom comes searching for them, seeing which both of them start running again, and Yuri says that it means I am not wireless. Then Otto replies that that is why I am saying that. Do not try to do the stupid thing that happened a while ago. Then Hiyori says, but you also cannot do anything without regalia. But then Atto's eyes go towards a spirit and he says to himself, a child, or to be more precise, a teenager. Then that phantom reaches them, due to which Yuri starts getting scared. That is why, without wasting a second, Otto immediately moves towards that spirit, but when that phantom does not stop chasing him, Yato attacks him. After which he writes something more about that spirit and says that the soul which is in this world. If you are lost, you have no place to go or return, so come, I will give you a place, my name is Tu, and now, with the name given by me, you have to live here with these names through my life. I will make you a regalia. You come Shuki Regalia Saki. After which the spirit glows very brightly and comes in To's hand and a sword is unleashed. Then Yatogami tries to purify, so now, I end your existence with to God Saki. And with this, Yato cuts that phantom, due to which his shreds fly. But Yato is unable to control himself and falls down, and seeing him crying, Yuri gets confused. Then we are shown another scene in which Yuri comes back with her body and says, what are you doing? Then Yatogami becomes, but Yato is lucky that we collided with a spirit which has not yet been corrupted. The length of this blade is also perfect. After which Yuri happily says, well, this is what happens, regalia is exactly like a sword. Then Otto says, yes, you are right. Its name is Yuki in human form. Then regalia starts shining and turns into a boy. seeing which Hiyori gets surprised, after which the boy starts shivering with cold, and takes off his tracksuit top and says to him, "I am Yato, your master. I have called you from far-off places to become my regal. You don't need to wander anywhere now. From now on, you will stay with me only." Saying this, Yato offers him his jacket, but Yuki replies, "Absolutely not. It smells of sweat." After which Yori offers him her scarf, which he immediately takes and wraps around his neck and says it is very cold outside. Can't we go inside somewhere? But Yato doesn't answer him because the poor guy is not able to come out of the shock. Then the scene changes. Yatogami starts feeling cold, and while taking off his clothes, he starts saying to himself, "Why am I still feeling these physical things, even though I have died long ago?" Then, we are shown another scene in which Yato gives Yukine fish to eat for lunch, but suddenly a cat comes and starts taking it away, and in an attempt to stop the cat, Yato turns hostile towards it, which results in a very bad outcome. And seeing all this, Yukine says that I never even dreamed that being a god means roaming the streets like a vagabond, sleeping in an old shrine, and picking up everyday things from the garbage. Then both of them start feeling hungry, and Yukine says, "Are you really sure that you are a god?" Hearing which, Aoto says, "Do you doubt? Come, let me show you what I can do." Then we are shown another scene in which Yatogami is saying that 3 glasses are needed here. "Miss?" Hearing which the waitress immediately notices Aoto and Yukine, and apologizes and goes to get water. Then Yuri says, "I thought people cannot see you because you are not human." Then Aoto says that it is not that we are invisible, it is just very difficult to notice us. "Come on, you tell me how many waitresses are present here." Hearing which Yori turns towards them. She tries to see it, but Yato refuses to see it. Then Yori thinks for a while and says, "Maybe 2. After which she finds out that there are actually 4 such dresses, and she is hungry for Yatogami. Then we are shown another scene in which Yuki thanks Rei. Then Rei says that, "It is okay, my name is Hiyori Iki, you can call me Yuri." Then Yuki says that, "How do you know Yato?" Then Yuri says that actually, nowadays my soul has started coming out of the body. That is why I want Yato to fix this problem of mine. By the way, what did you do before becoming Tozralia? Then Yuki says that I don't know. I just know that I died. After which I found myself in his hands. I didn't have any memories before that. Then a cat comes to him. Seeing which Hiyori says, "Do you also like cats?" Then Yuki says yes, and his eyes go to Hiyori's collarbone. Due to which he gets shy and turns his eyes away, but then as soon as he comes out of the restaurant, Toy starts feeling pain in his back. He starts thinking and tells Yakini that you have just thought something bad, right? Listen, gods and Rigel share their body and mind. That is why I can sense your every bad thought. I understand that this is the effect of puberty, but please control your desires. Just then, Odo gets a call from a customer, and he starts taking Yakini with him. But in an attempt to stop them, Hiyori's soul also teleports with them. Fog starts covering that new place, and one by one some people appear. Seeing whom, Oto says, "Who are you people? Have you called us here to trap us?" But then a person appears there reciting a poem. Seeing him, Yuri says, "Is this Godson, the god of learning?" Zan says, "Oh, you recognize me." After which Yori and Yukina start bowing in front of him, which Yatu cannot see at all. Then Yuki says that this is the name of a real god. Then Yori says that you are right, by the way. Yatu is completely opposite to you. Yatu gets a shock in his heart after this. When Tenzin asks Yato the name of his regalia, Ato says that it is called Yuke, Seki in regalia form, and Yuki in human form. Hearing this, Tenzin says, "Yuki, you have just become a regal. That is why you do not know." A girl named Suyu comes and continues this story of Tenzin. A regalia is never given in the presence of its master. One should not bow before another god. But then Shori says, "Wow, you have so many shrine midwives." After which all the girls start introducing themselves one by one. Then Zen says, "All this has been done by me." Hearing which Yuri starts praising Zen more. Ato cannot tolerate all this, and he asks Zen to come straight to the point. Then Tenjin says, "You must know that it is exam season right now, and I am very busy, so can you eliminate some phantoms for me? I mean, anyway, you don't have anything to do. I also know that you sleep in my shrine without permission. If you want, I can let you join my group, but I know you want to get your own shrine built." After which Zen takes out a big note and starts offering it to Yatu, because Yatu only has small change. Then finally, on getting a 5 rupee coin from Tenjin, Yatu says to him, "That means you had the change from the beginning." after which Denjin gives a 5 rupee coin in his hand. On which Suyu says, "Don't you think we should send someone else to guide? Mayu is not into these things right now." Then Tenjin says, "You are right, but Mayu knows Yato very well." After which we come to know that Mayu is none other than Yato's old guide, seeing which Ta gets shocked and says that you have joined this man. Then she says, "My name is Mayu. Don't call me by my old name now." Then she tells Yukinen and Rei that she had taken Yato's old guide. On this, Yori says, "Did he really complete his work?" Then Yuki asks, "What about home, food and clothes? Is he really a stray god?" Then Mayu says yes, due to which both of them become sad. After which To and Mayu start arguing, seeing which Hari says, "Is this Yatogami?" Yuri goes to Tenjan and says, "You have asked to kill some phantoms. Are they that bad?" To which Tenj replies, "To be honest, I cannot say that I allow a creature like you to exist because you can easily interfere in our and humans' matters." Then the scene changes in which Mayu says that a few days ago someone asked for a strange wish. When I investigated, I came to know that 2 people have already taken their lives. Storms always occur in this place, and the phantoms that come from it take control of people. That is why the god Zan has also built a barrier here. But the phantoms dominate some people so much that they are purified. Hearing this, Yuri says that we just have to kill those phantoms that take control of people. But then Ato says that if someone wants to die, let him die. On this, Mayugu gets angry and says that you will remain as mean as always. Hiyori also does not find this attitude of Ato right. If Yatogami wants to kill, then it means he has been taken over. He cannot even become a regalia. Hearing this, Yuri alone sets out to kill the phantoms. But Yatogami thinks it will be better to leave him alone like this. Then Yato replies that let's get ready for our first task. Then we are shown another scene in which a phantom is sitting on the shoulder of a boy. But then Yori comes and kills him. After which many phantoms start spawning, and Hari is not able to fight them all. Then those phantoms make Yori lie down on the railway track, and then a train starts coming from the front, but at the end Yatogami is there and Yori jumps and climbs on the train. Yato says to her, "Do you remember if your tail gets cut then you will die?" On the other hand, a boy is standing on the same stormy railway crossing and some phantoms start dominating him. Then, To says Yuki, "No, our real task is about to start now." After which that boy starts crossing that railway crossing. But Yato jumps from there and says his signature line, "You who tried to sanctify this land of the rising sun, now I end your existence with to God Seki." And with this, Toast destroys the phantom. But his attack has a deep impact on the surrounding areas as well. After which Yato reverts to Yukine and says, "Friend, you used too much force." Then, from the other side of the railway crossing, Mayu Yatogami says to Yori Oto, "You said that let the one who wants to die die, but after all, you don't want that." Yato says, "No, you are wrong. I just don't want to let anyone die in front of these people. I know life can be painful, but people should be thankful that at least they are alive. That's why Hiyori's Yatogami can even become a Ranga." After which Yuri says in her mind, "Ranga, these are so young and innocent. If none of them took their own lives, then it clearly means that they still want to die. That's why To doesn't want to let anyone die in front of these people." On understanding all this, tears come to Yori's eyes, and on seeing Yukine, Yato feels pain again, on which he is about to scold Yukine. When Yukina is about to cry, his attention goes towards Yori, and seeing her crying, he starts blaming Yakini for this. Then Yuri avoids this and says that I am fine. Something just went into my eyes. After which the scene changes in which Yukina starts feeling cold, and then Yato gives her a jacket, seeing which she realizes that it is the same childish jacket. Then Yatogami is looking at her. Then the scene changes. Yukina again gets lost in his dream world, in which almost everyone has become his devotee, and he has become the biggest god of the whole world. But seeing him mumbling in his sleep like this, Yuki kicks him and makes him fall down. Then we are shown the morning scene in which Yatogami could not sleep properly due to his talking in sleep, so Yuki starts making fun of Yatogami. Seeing the lines on Yatogami's lips, he says that she will sell this pot only to me. I just have to rub it every day and chant a mantra and everything will start going well in my life. But such nonsense of hers. Hearing this, Yaki and Yuri get very angry and both of them together break Yato's pot, due to which he goes into shock. Then Hiyori says that leave all this and do some work. Then Yatogami tells him lovingly that you yourself had said that God and Rogel share their body and mind. I don't think a god should behave like this despite meeting such a good Rogel. Hearing this, Yato stands up and says, Hiyori, go back with your body. There is someone whom I want to introduce you to. Then the scene changes in which Yatogami is there, and suddenly a girl comes and hugs To, seeing which Yukine and Hiyori cannot believe their eyes, after which he could not even give a good place to Yatogami. Saying all this, calling Yatogami cheap is also an insult to the word cheap. But then suddenly a man comes and kicks Yato and says that you have come again. I told you to stay away from my princess, hearing which Yuki and Hiyori say together that Chanka is having an affair. Then the scene changes in which the man says, I am Kof Kobi Sukkelia. My name is Koko in the form of Koro Rogel, and Tai Koko in the form of human. Then Yuki says to Hiyori that this is such an amazing thing. Ebisu is a very big name. Then Hiyori also says yes, Ebisu is one of the 7 gods of fortune, but she does not look exactly like she is shown. Then suddenly Daikok says, what are you guys talking about? Due to which both of them get scared. And Yuri says you both are a very good couple. But Daikuku tells that they are having some misunderstanding. On which Hari says, but you called Kafak your princess a while ago. Then Daikoku says that it is just a kind of title. Actually, she is my goddess. Hearing which both of them are left open-mouthed. Then Daikok says, do you have any problem? But due to him saying this, both of them get scared. Then Eito says, do not look into his eyes, doing so can be dangerous. Because even though this man looks tough, he melts on seeing children. Hearing which both of them get shocked and they feel that Daikok is a pedophile. Then Daikok, without wasting a moment, kicks To and drives him away from there. After which Daikok says, to do not misunderstand, Daikok likes small children very much. He likes to see them until they disappear from his sight. Then Daikok says that the way you are saying, now he will surely misunderstand me. Then Tok says to Yukine that you should be a little careful because I have not come to you. Yatogami starts leaving, and Yuri also goes behind them. After which Daikok says in his mind that why did you bring both of them here? Then the scene changes in which a man standing on the edge of the roof starts apologizing to his mom on the phone. But then Yatogami starts falling down and says to himself, have I started falling already, friend? I am so unlucky. Then Oto comes to him and says, is it a love issue or a family issue? Work is not going well or someone is troubling you. I can solve all kinds of problems. I am a fast and affordable delivery boy, said To. But suddenly Yuri bumps into him. He is unable to complete his sentence. Yuki sees that those cards are not printed but handmade. Then that man also starts introducing himself with his card. Seeing which To says, oh, so you used to work for an ad agency. Then the man says, yes, recently that company went bankrupt. So I had nothing left except this last option. Then I wanted to call my parents and apologize, but maybe I called you by mistake. Then To says, maybe this is fate. Can you tell me everything from the beginning? On which Hiyori says that first of all you should save her. But actually that man also starts telling his story without caring about anything else. This is about last winter when I met a girl. Then Hiyori says, why is my face there? Then the man replies, actually, you are in front of me right now. That's why the face is the only thing that is coming to mind. Well, as I was saying, looking at that girl, I thought that maybe she has run away from home. That's why I thought of taking her to the police station. But she was hungry. That's why I offered her something to eat first, but she refused. She said that she has been forbidden to go out and eat, but sometimes she likes to come and roam around the city secretly, from which I came to know that she belongs to a very strict family. She was not even allowed to go out, as if a bird is imprisoned in a cage. That's why I thought of taking her to her favorite place, and in this way we started dating. Everything was going well. We were very happy. Then Yuki interrupted and said, friend, is it only me who feels this way, or we have been falling for a long time? After which the man continues his story. Everything was going well, but then suddenly big things started happening with us, one after the other. My company also went bankrupt and all my savings were also gone. I wanted to propose to her after she graduated, but I don't think that now I am worthy of her. All this hearing this, To says, can I see the picture of that girl? Hearing which the man shows them all the picture of the girl in which there is no one else but Kafkar. To says I should have understood earlier. I may not have told you people this earlier. But Kafkar is the god of poverty. Listen to me, friend, and forget that girl. A goddess of poverty brings only doom with her. If you stay with her, then your luck will always be bad. On top of that, there is a man in her life with whom you will not mess. Even Kafkar does not have a young girl. His age is more than the age of your grandmother's grandmother. Hearing which the man gets sad and says that the time has come to break all the relations with Yatogami. With this, you will forget everything about him. But the man is against this thing, and says, I don't care even if I die because I love her with all my heart. On which Yato punches him hard and says that a person who is ready to die himself can never love anyone. After which Yato asks Yukina to get ready, due to which Yukine gets very upset because he has never done anything like this before, but he asks him to have faith in himself and also asks the man if there is any message that he wants to send to Kofkar. The man says tell him to always be happy, to which Yato says your wish has been heard, so now I break your connection with Togodseki right here. After which the man slowly comes down and he does not remember anything. Then the scene changes in which Kofkar is saying, is all this my fault? I just wanted to have some fun. Then Daikuku says, you have hurt me. Kofkar should not have done this behind your relative's back. Then Kofkar says it is your fault in this. You do not let me go out anywhere. To which Daikoku says, yes, I do not let you go, because your going out only brings doom. But whatever you say, child, you have the ability, despite being a new level. You are able to break connections already. Hearing this, Yukina gets surprised, and he asks if it is so difficult. Then Daikoko replies that yes, breaking a relationship is more difficult than making one. And in this, Regalia's ability matters the most, Yatogami, due to which Yato becomes happy and starts taking Yukine with him. But then Yori says that when you said that Yato is a dangerous god, it was just a joke, right? Then Kofkar replies that no, it is true that Yato killed a Regalia a long time ago. Before meeting him, I had only heard bad things about him. You should keep in mind that Yato is a god of war. He also kills humans, hearing which Hiyori gets scared. But then Daikoko says that this was a long time ago. Things were different then. It was time of kill or die. But Yori does not understand anything properly. Then, Daikoku further says that the existence of gods remains due to the wishes of people. The big gods have many devotees who keep asking for wishes from them, but the same does not happen with the small gods. They also remain in people's memories. If you are not able to stay for long, then in such situations you fulfill your assistant's wish, no matter how it is or where it has come from. After which the scene changes in which Yori asks Yato, why did you introduce me to them? Then Yato comes close to him and says, listen, if anything happens to me, then go straight to both of them. Then Yori says in her mind that their fragrance is so good. On the other hand, Yuki is sitting near a river and playing with stones, and Yatogami, suddenly a girl appears near him and says, your eyes are very beautiful, due to which Yuki gets surprised. There are only names in his whole body, but then Yato comes there and says, what do you want after all, Nora? Then Nora says, call me by my name. I like the name you gave me. Then Yori says, has this also become a habit of Yato? After which Nora says, I will wait when you will call my name, and with this she disappears. After which the scene changes. New day and new adventure. Yato finds a small phantom on the road. For experiment. He is teaching Yakini a technique called borderline, which is Regalia's weapon during self-defense. After listening to Yato's instructions, Yuki tries to make borderline and succeeds in the first attempt itself. It says that fear and hatred helps in making borderlines and phantoms cannot cross them. Two also says that even gods cannot do this. These powers are only with Regalia. But the surprising thing is that Yuki makes a very powerful borderline in the first attempt itself without any practice. That means there is definitely something special about him. Then the scene changes after Hiyori Yatogami, in which Hiyori Yatogami has no place to live, and on top of that, your sorrows do not end. Sometimes ex-girlfriend, sometimes affair, sometimes friends with benefits. I cannot leave an innocent like you, Kane, in the company of a wrong person like you. Saying this, she brings Kane close to her, but then stops her. Yuki asks her about her parents. Yuri says, we are lucky to see such a big house. She thinks they will come home late, but then their housekeeper comes in opening the door, although she cannot see Yakini, and after talking to Hiyori, she leaves from there. Yakini starts feeling shy after being so close to Hiyori, after which Yuri shows her her room and says, this room is of my elder brother. He does not live with us anymore, so consider it your own room. Then we are shown another scene in which Yato also comes inside the house along with Yuri's parents. He starts having a lot of fun because he knew no one can see him. Then coming out of the house, both of them go to the house and start talking to Hiyori. They start talking to each other. Hiyori says, I wanted to keep Yukina away from you, but you came here too. To ask how Yukina is feeling here, Hiyori says, He is very happy. At least he will not have to spend the night in a shrine like you. To replies, the shrine is a holy place. It is the safest place to avoid the attack of phantoms. Phantoms come out only in the darkness of the night, and I don't think Yukine can handle them. The truth is that Yukine is afraid of the dark. The scene shifts. Yukine is relaxing in the bathtub and thinks, what will he do if I don't go back to Odo? Will he start using that girl again in my place? Then he smells a fragrance and realizes that Yuri had come there to take a bath before him. He becomes very embarrassed, but the twist comes when he finds out that the bathroom was used by Yuri's dad before him. Then what? Yuki becomes obscene, after which the scene changes. Hiyori is sleeping when Yuki comes in her room and says that your dad has switched off the lights and I don't feel comfortable in the dark. Hearing this, Yuri starts calling him to sleep with her, which makes Yukine shy again. At midnight, when Yuri is in deep sleep, Yukine turns towards her and gets distracted seeing her cleavage. But before he can take any wrong step, Yato appears behind him. Yato holds him and takes him out of the room and says, Yuki, what were you going to do right now? You are not ready for girls yet, friend. Then Yuki says, why have you come here? Anyway, you have that girl in the form of Ragul. Then why do you need me? Saying this, he leaves from there and Yato looks out of the window and says to himself, it seems that tonight is also going to be stormy. On the other hand, we see a new god Pishamon, who was destroying the phantoms in that stormy night. Then the scene changes. Yuki comes shopping with Yori. Yori asks him if he needs anything. I can get it for you. But Yuki directly picks up a skateboard and uses it and says, I don't have to buy anything. I can buy anything. No one can see me. However, Yuri gets very angry at this. Look, if no one is watching, does that mean that this is right? It is as wrong as stealing. From next time, if you need anything, you tell me. I will get it for you. But before hearing all this, Kine disappears from there. But then Yatogami replies there, how do you know? To which Yato says, I told you earlier also, Master and Ralia both share body and mind. If Yuki does something wrong, then I feel the pain. Hearing this, she asks, so when you do something wrong, does Yugani also feel the pain? To which Yatogami says, we gods have to suffer. Look, Yori, I am making one thing clear for you. Right and wrong applies only to humans, not to gods. Whatever the gods do is right, even if it means hurting someone. Be it killing or not. A day will come when Yakini will definitely get her punishment. Hearing all this, Yuri remembers Kofu's words that in the past Oto had killed a regalia. Frightened by this, she sets out to find Yakini, but in a hurry, she leaves her body there, after which we are shown another scene in which Yakini suddenly realizes that there is darkness, but then suddenly she hears a little girl crying. The girl notices her and hugs her and says, thank you can see me. I don't know why, but everyone else is ignoring me. Only those eyes are visible. They talk to her, but they are very scary. Yukine has realized that the girl requests him to stay with her for a while, until her mom comes to pick her up. But even after knowing the truth, Yuki is unable to refuse her. On the other hand, Hiyori is searching for her. A lot of time passes. The little girl says to Yuki, I am sorry because of me you also have to wait, but mom will be coming soon. However, Yuki is unable to bear this anymore and breaks his silence and says, I don't think she will come. Hearing this, the girl starts crying and leaves from there. Then Hiyori also comes there. But as soon as Yukini goes to stop that little girl, he feels something. He sees a lot of phantoms in front of that child. Hiyori tells Yuki to quickly use the power that Yato had taught you. Hearing this, Yuki shows courage and moves towards that girl, and then creates a borderline between the phantoms and them. But then he notices that girl. A phantom has already taken over. Seeing this, he falls down in fear, and the girl moves towards him and says, your fragrance is very good, I want to smell you more. Along with that girl, the phantoms also start moving forward, and the borderline slowly disappears and complete darkness prevails. Yuki is not able to move due to fear, but then Yuri saves him from the attack of the phantom. All those phantoms join together with that girl and suddenly try to purify Yatogami. Now I will end your existence with Yato God Saki. However, Yuki is not ready for this at all. Due to which that phantom does not have any special effect, Yuki shouts, and Yatogami emerges from the impact of that attack. Yato further says that once the soul gets corrupted by the phantom, his life becomes worse than hell. Shuki says have pity on him, kill him, and free him. Shuki cannot tolerate all this. Then Yato attacks that phantom with his full strength, and we are shown a glimpse in which the soul of that girl moves towards Yakini. The phantom gets destroyed, and grabs his neck in pain. Hiyori is watching all this from above. Then the scene changes in which we see Bishamo, his Ragal or Kazuma, tells him that Kura has recently seen Oto destroying a phantom. It seems that he has acquired a new skill. The scene shifts. We see Yukini, who gets very scared even after seeing a small phantom. He says in his mind that all this is To's fault. He used me to destroy that girl without my consent, after which Yukin's eyes go towards the skateboards kept in a shop. Even after Yori's explanation last time, he does not come to his senses, and his evil intentions start dominating him. The direct result of which is that Yatogami tells her friends that she is looking for a boy. Both of them have a misunderstanding that Shori has secretly found a boyfriend. Then the scene changes in which we see Yakini enjoying with the stolen skateboard. He is in the delusion that he can do anything wrong. When no one can see him, then no one can stop him. But he comes out of his delusion when Yato stops him in the middle of the road and asks, "Where did you get this skateboard?" Yukini has no answer. Then he lies that Hiyori gifted it to him, but he is so unlucky that Hiyori comes there at that time. Then Yato starts confirming it from him, due to which Yuki turns his eyes away from Yori because he realizes that now his lie will be caught. But the twist comes when Yori also starts supporting him in his lie. But Yato is not a fool. He understands that both of them are lying. He says that these kids of today, that is why I cannot tolerate them. But then he continues further while looking at the sky. The sky has turned red. The evening time is the difference between day and night. It acts as the boundary between the two worlds. This is the time when people of this world are afraid of darkness and people of the other world join the darkness and create havoc. This boundary becomes blurred when the sun sets and the shadow of the evening gradually becomes dark and deep. Hearing all this, Yuki starts trembling with fear, and Yato tells him that people believe that at this time the monsters wake up from their sleep. Yuki calls this time the time of the devil. Then suddenly Bishamo enters there. Yato is surprised to see him. Before he could understand anything, Bishamo attacks him with his hunter. Instantly, by pushing Yakuni, Yato saves her from that attack. Seeing all this, Yuri gets scared, but Yato signals her to keep quiet. Then Bishamo says that at last I have found you, god of claim. On this, Yato smiles and takes Bishamo's name. But on hearing this name, Yato gets scared and says that yes, he is the most powerful god of war. Knowing this, Yuki says that yes, he is the most powerful god of war. If she is also a god, then both of you should be on the same side. But why is she attacking us then? Otto replies that I had harmed her a long time ago. Since then, she is after my life. On which Yuki says, if this is your matter, then don't drag me in this. Otto says, I don't think she will let you go from here alive. She has work to do. She will not leave me and my regal or both of them. After which Bishamon, again Yatogami, also starts chasing him. Yatogami was also not going to give up. She immediately asks her regal Kazuma to track Yato. Kazuma starts tracking him with his ability. The target is going towards the north direction right now. Distance 2.11.9. There are not many people in this area, but still, I would advise you not to attack. Only one regalia has been detected. His abilities are unknown. Hearing this, Bishamon says, what else can we expect from him? He is an expert only in biting. After which he, getting down from Kura. She starts chasing Yato while running. The scene shifts. Yato stops at one place and starts recovering. When Yuki asks, why did you stop? She will catch us. Yato replies that it is because of you that I am not in my full form yet. That is why we can't find Yatogami, whether it is his clothes, weapons, or his lion. Along with this, he also mentions his most special regalia, Kazuma. Kazuma is the most skilled, and he coordinates all the regalia. It would not be wrong to say that Bishamon is the strongest war god because of Kazuma. Saying this, Oto goes to fight Bishamon because he understands that now there is no use in hiding. Then Bishamon catches To's leg with his regal and summons a gun-like regal and locks the target on it and shoots. However, in the end, Yato destroys those bullets with his sprint. Seeing this, Kazuma gets impressed, but Bishamon gets very angry with this. She gets angry, and while fighting with To in close combat, she says that she will never let you kill another Rakia again. after which we see that due to Yukine not cooperating fully, Yato starts losing and runs away again. Then we are shown another scene in which Hiyori comes to Kof and Daikoku to ask for help. She asks, what does it mean that Bishamo called Yatogami? Then Kof replies that it means a god who only causes destruction. Then Yuri realizes that Bishamo was there, after which Dai says that this is a matter between Bishamo and To, and we cannot do anything in this. Then on repeated requests of Rei, both of them start feeling that Yato is blackmailing Yori and making her do all this, but Yori clears their misunderstanding and agrees to help Kof. Then Yeri tries to find Yato in her spirit form with his scent, and both of them are quite surprised to know that Hiyori is a half-phantom. The scene shifts. Yato stops in a forest to rest. Yuki asks him why he killed his regalia. But Yatogami starts thinking that he will kill him too one day. Chato starts feeling pain again due to his negative thinking. Then suddenly, a very dangerous attack is made on them. Due to the impact of this attack, Yukina flies in the air. But Yato calls out his regalia name and transforms him and brings him to himself. Then we come to know that Bishamo was behind that attack. Yato says to him, "Why did you kill these poor trees in an attempt to kill me?" Bishamo replies that a little damage is required to destroy the evil. But Yukina gets scared seeing Bishamo's regalia. "Hey, don't do it. Either she will break me into 2 pieces." But before their fight could start again, Kofa comes there. Seeing this, Yatogami says that whenever he uses his regalia, a storm always comes. Then we see that a lot of phantoms start coming out of the vent, due to which Kazuma advises Bishamo to go back for the time being. But Bishamo does not give up her stubbornness and calls Kura, hearing which Kura attacks 2 from behind and Yatogami freezes. Then Yato takes advantage of this opportunity and slashes one of his eyes, seeing which Bishamo calls Kura's name and calls him back. Even after all this, Bishamo does not back down. That is why Kazuma tells her that Vina, if you want to become a victim of those phantoms, then go ahead with your free will. But is this what you want for your rest of the regalia as well? On hearing this, Bishamo finally puts a stone on her heart and stops this fight. Then Hiyori comes there and Yato asks her, "Why did you bring these 2 here?" Then Yori replies that you yourself had said that if you get into any trouble, then I should go straight to those 2, and Yatogami should not know at all that you have any connection with me. After which, Bishamo Yatogami. Hearing this, Yatogami M.